Okay, and now we're doing passage 84, the one-eyed giant. This is the story of Polyphemus, the most famous story from the Odyssey with Sakire. So, Sakire, postquam ea tota nocte remis contenderunt. Postquam, after ea tota nocte remis contenderunt. After, or afterwards, they contenderunt, they rushed through the whole night with their oars. For that whole night, remis with their oars. Postride, the next day, they apulerunt, they they drove their ship, they apulerunt now, and find your object, they drove their ship towards an unknown land. Here's a question, my first question for you, Sakire. Ignotam there then is, ignosko is I do not know, so literally they drove the ship to a land having been unknown. What kind of word is ignotam?
Is a participle.
It is a participle, what kind? Literally it's a land having been unknown.
It's a perfect passive participle.
Yep, absolutely right. It's perfect passive participle. Then, quod, because they ignorabat, because they did not know the naturam, the nature of this region, Ulysses ipse, Ulysses himself, cum duodecim, with 12 of his allies, egressus, having gone out onto the land, egressus. What kind of word is egressus, please, Sakire, having gone out?
It's a deponent.
Yep.
Perfect participle.
It is. What kind of perfect participle?
Active.
Perfect active participle that we were talking about with the last one. That all right, Jonathan? We'll just pause for a second while it bleeps. Good. So we've got there the perfect active participle. They constitute. He decided explorare loca, to explore the place. What kind of word is explorare? Very easy, I know, Sakire.
It's an infinitive.
It's an infinitive. Good. Paulum alitore progressi. Having gone forwards a little bit from the shore, having set out progredio a little bit from the shore. Progressi, what kind of word is that, Sakire?
Active perfect participle.
Well done, a perfect active participle. They perbonerunt, they arrived at a huge cave. Quam, which they senserunt, which literally they realized to be inhabited. Think about it for a second. So they realized, verb of saying or thinking, which they realized, or they realized which, what is it?
Indirect statement.
It is an indirect statement. Well done. As soon as you see a verb of saying or thinking, and obviously here realizing is a form of thinking, they realized to be inhabited, look for an accusative infinitive. And then we've got this next bit. Eos enim introitum et natura loci et manum munitum esse animad vertunt. For they realized that eos introitum, it's got the introitum, the entrance, that its entrance, they realized that the entrance, and by the nature of the place, that it was munitum esse, that it was built manu, by hand. Animad vertunt, they realized it to have been built by hand. Munitum esse, accusative infinitive, Sakire, why?
It's an indirect statement.
It's an indirect statement, again, because of the realizing. Mox, soon, even though they realized that they say non sine, that they were doing something not without danger. Facturos is going to be future. It could be facturos esse. But why is it facturos? They realize themselves to be about to do something not without danger.
Indirect statement.
Indirect statement again. There's a lot of indirect statements here.
Yeah.
Even though they realized that they were doing something not without danger. What's that an example of? Not without, literary device, Sakire. Not without. The double negative.
Litotes.
Litotes, very good. Well done. They entered the cave. Quod cum fecissent. This comes up quite a lot in Unseens, that quod. When they had done which thing? Fecissent, pluperfect subjunctive. Why?
Cum clause.
Cum clause, well done. Temporal clause, I call it, but cum clause is fine. When they had done this, magnam copiam lactis invasis ingentibus conditam invenerunt. Invenerunt. They found a large quantity, lactis, of milk in, conditam, having been stored in huge jars. Conditam. What kind of word is that, having been stored?
Perfect passive participle.
Perfect passive participle. Well done. Good. So they found all this milk stored in the jars. Dum tamen miranto. However, while they were amazed or wondering who would live in that house, habitaret, subjunctive, why, Sakire? They were wondering who would live.
Indirect question.
Indirect question. Good. Who would live in this place? Direct question. They were wondering who was living in this place. Indirect question. They audiueron. They heard a terrible sound, and with their eyes turned to the gate, to the door, is better, they saw a horrible monster. Quidem, indeed human in appearance and in shape, sed ingenti magnitudine, but with a huge size of its body. With a huge size of body. That doesn't sound very good, but with a huge quantity of body sounds even worse. What would sound better, Sakire? With a huge mass?
Yeah, or just a huge body.
With a huge body would be okay. Yep. But with a huge body. Cum autem, when, however, they animad verticent, when, however, they had realized, animad verticent, pluperfect subjunctive, why, Sakire?
Cum clause.
Cum clause again, that the monster had only one eye, positum having been placed in the middle of its forehead. Positum there having been placed, what kind of word is that?
Perfect passive participle.
Perfect passive participle. Intellexerunt, they knew, they understood. As soon as you see this word, they realized. What are you going to be looking for?
Indirect statement.
Indirect statement, accusative infinitive. They realized that this was one of the Cyclopes about whom they had already heard the story. Very well done, Sakire. Excellent, all done.